Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are live from New York City with the first best of 5 of the afternoon of the evening. Moonglade versus Ryung. Ryung currently up 1-0 in this best of 5, and the players are ready for game number 2.
Game number 2 going to be on Whirlwind. Of course, this is a map that Zerg's often like in that late game. Very big, spread out, easy to counter at Terran's 4th and 5th bases. Of course, big and spread out also means that drop play can be very strong for Terran, and we saw how effective Ryung was with it. He didn't do like insane numbers of drops, but every drop was just so efficient.
Oh, you're absolutely right. It's not like there were 50 medevacs all across the map. It was literally one medevac, like a Navy SEAL type medevac. It's like, you know what? We got a mission. Our mission is kill a hatchery, kill 5-6 drones, kill an Ultra's cavern, and that's exactly what Ryung did. Moonglade, gotta be aware of those drops, gotta be prepared, and a large part of that was, remember that initial engagement where Moonglade just like threw everything at Ryung? Went to the natural, went to the main, went to third, did a lot of damage, 58 workers killed. During that, Ryung killed his opponent's third with the drop. Now imagine if that doesn't happen, how much better of a situation Moonglade is in. So a lot of things we can think about, but these guys are very evenly matched. If you're like, okay, it's 1-0, I'm turning it off because it's going to be a 3-0. Sorry. No, you are very wrong, and you're very wrong indeed. In fact, you should do the opposite. Get on Twitter, get on Reddit, get on Team Liquid. Tell your friends that this is going on. This is WCS America. So much money, so many WCS points, and so much pride is on the line here. Again, the winner of this best of 5 advances to Global Finals in Korea. But allow me to introduce our players in this game number 2, starting with, in the top right-hand location, the red Terran player, representing Team Axiom. He's currently up 1-0. He is Ryung. Dark silhouette. Terran player. Of course, his opponent in the bottom left-hand location, hailing from Australia. If he wins this tournament, it has been said he's getting a tattoo. I still don't know if Mr. Bitter was lying about that, but that would be pretty awesome. He is Moonglade.
Moonglade, throughout this tournament, has really done amazingly in the ZVT matchup.
Yes.
But Ryung is one of those guys who you just can't say, I'm good at this matchup, so I'm going to be good against Ryung. Because Ryung, he made top 4 in the GSL before. He's done so exceptional in the past. He's this guy who has never not been at the top of the players listed. Every tournament he's gone to, it's never like, oh, Ryung the last couple of months hasn't been doing well. I don't think he ever once dropped out of the GSL in the last 2 years until he decided to move to move over and do WCS America. He's just an insanely, consistently high-level player. Really focused on TVT as his ace matchup, but of course we saw last game, his TVT control was absolutely immaculate. What's really impressive, if you take a look at the way Ryung made it to these playoffs.
Yeah.
He only played 1 Zerg in his playoff run, and that was, of course, against Suppy.
Yes.
And he lost 2-0.
Yes.
So he was 0-2 against Zerg in this run there. He mostly played, he went through the round 32, taking out Hello Kitty, and then in the round of 16, TVT, his ace matchup, taking out Pult and Alive. Mm-hmm. But those 2 games against Suppy that he lost there, it was early Roach baiting all-ins that killed him both games. Both games were extremely fast, and he said he spent the last week practicing this matchup. So he's really clearly developed this matchup to a very high level, and after last game, he looks really scary.
Yeah. It's interesting because, again, he had to come back from that situation where he lost so much stuff in the beginning. He was behind in every aspect of that game, except maybe upgrades. And then he had to somehow make it happen after being down that far. It shows just, how good he is, how many times he's been in that situation, his level of experience. So Ryung definitely showing awesome game in game 1. But again, Moonglade, one of those players who can come back. I was talking to him a little bit earlier. I was asking if he watched GSL at all. He said he caught a few of the games, and he was pretty shocked. I hesitate to spoil, actually. I wanted to go on a little bit of an explanation, but I don't want to spoil, guys. By the way, WCS Korea Finals happened last night. If you missed it, Innovation versus Sulky, definitely check out the VODs. But Moonglade was inspired by those matches. I'll say that.
Very, very inspiring play from both players in that matchup, actually. The play level is so high. Of course, over here, in Moonglade's run to the playoffs, he's taken out primarily Terran players. In fact, every single win he's had has been against Terran players. Now, out of the 6 matches he's had, 5 of them were in Zerg versus Terran. Of course, the 6th being a loss against Crank. But this is his matchup he says he's most comfortable in. He's exceptionally good at it. And cross-map on Whirlwind should be a great map to really showcase his real talents, which is in the very late game of Zerg versus Terran. He's very assertive with the Ultras play. Last map, we didn't really get to see him do that because he didn't get to that high econ late game. It was kind of, the mid game was so crazy. He never got that 8-9 Ultras army backed up by Infestors that he's so good at controlling.
And, he was definitely trying to get to that point that, throughout the later stages of that game, but unable to make it happen. As far as this game so far is concerned, we're seeing pretty much identical stuff as game number 1. And it's not too surprising to see if they're going to do that on Cloud Kingdom. Whirlwind is like, they're definitely, they might take it a step further and literally not make an attacking unit until the 10-minute mark or something like that. Take 5 command centers versus 6 hatcheries. Probably not going to happen. But, you're starting to understand the mindset of these two guys. You're like, you know what? I'm happy going to the mid game, happy going to the late game. I'm not going to try to do 2 racks. I'm not going to try to throw a Baneling bust early on. I'm confident in my late game ability. And I see no reason not to. Just these guys showing so much respect for each other.
Moonglade playing almost the exact same opening as last game, but he's made a difference. One key thing is that when he scattered with the overlord into the main, he hasn't noticed a double E-base from his opponent, and he suspects something might be going on, so he's building that Roach Warren as kind of a safety measure. Also, it could be part of an all-in timing, and that's going to work out really great because Ryung actually, the reason he's not going double E-base is because he's spending his money on this mass Blue Flame Hellion strategy.
Interesting.
Saying, you know what, my opponent's using only speedings and banings for the first few minutes. If I can catch him off guard with these, with a massive Blue Flame Hellion attack, he can do massive damage.
And interestingly enough, this is a lot of people might think this might be a progression into mech. That's not happening here. 2 engineering base going down, and stim has already started. So Ryung just trying to mix in this mid-game aggression here. A lot of Blue Flame Hellions. Not only trying to do economic damage, but maybe trying to convince his opponent he's going mech. So then, Moonglade's starting to focus a little bit too much on the roaches and stuff, whereas he's going bio behind this.
Oh, both players playing mind games. Moonglade has to wall off his natural. His queens are all the 3rd base. These Hellions will run right into the natural and do massive damage.
Oh no, this could be huge for Ryung. Blue Flame doing so much damage to those links. 10 roaches on the way here for Moonglade, but drones are so vulnerable with the natural expansion, and this is a situation where you can't split. You're going to die. You're going to lose every single drone. Moonglade needs to get those roaches in the air. The Queen's finally trying to retreat to the natural, trying to defend the precious economy, but so many drones getting killed here for Ryung, taking Moonglade completely off guard, already up to 28, and he's not done.
Oh man, and almost as bad as losing all these drones is the fact that Ryung has now seen the Roach Warren and the Nidus network. So the whole goal was he built a fake Spire in his natural, hoping that Ryung would scout that fake Spire in the natural, and then he would cancel the Spire and do the Nidus one. But Ryung saw the fact that the Spire was canceled, and he saw the Nidus canal, so he should be ready for this attack.
He should be, shouldn't he?
But he doesn't see it coming.
This could be a Moonglade's way back into the game. He's down in Harvesters 51-18. Moonglade needs to make something happen. He must get a lot of damage done with this push. The Queens and Roaches coming forward. Ryung, again, he's been working on adding on production facilities. He has 4 barracks in production that aren't yet done. He only has Blue Flame Hellions to defend, trying to get a Marauder on the field, trying to get a tank on the field, but Ryung completely evacuating his main base.
Oh, Ryung trying to counterattack with Blue Flame Hellions, but Moonglade with a very smart roll-in, using Roaches to defend a counterattack, having all his drones at the main base.
Moonglade needs more damage to be done. What he's done here is not enough. Taking down 1 engineering bay, taking down a 2nd, but Ryung still with 51 Harvest on the field, huddling those SCVs around his siege tank, trying to get Widow Mines on the field, getting whatever he can out here on the map to defend against this aggression. Moonglade charging forward with a bunch of Roaches, a bunch of Queens, targeting down the bunker, trying to get close to the tank, but Ryung, with a great defense so far, needs to keep that tank alive. But Moonglade targeting it down, he takes it out. SCV is going to be very vulnerable, but a bunker just now finishing with 1 Marine inside.
Oh, and there's another tank in the back. The tank placement of Ryung, absolutely phenomenal. Very difficult for the Roaches to gain access to the tanks, and that was instrumental in this defense. So Moonglade's not done. The creep is spreading into the main base of Ryung, and the Queens are in the action.
18 more Lings in production as well, so he's not done using this Nidus just yet, trying to get as close as possible to that tank, takes him out, and now the bunker only stands in his way from the economy, from the infrastructure of his opponent. That's the only defense Ryung has here, barring a few Widow Mines, a couple Marauders, but Ryung adding more and more units, and Moonglade, he needs an Overseer here to see these Widow Mines.
Moonglade is, if he can stop combat chill, that's going to be very helpful. Ryung is pretty much giving up almost his entire main base, but now the SCVs are coming to try to push Moonglade back.
2 more Queens in production. Moonglade not going back into drones, which is worrying me a little bit. He really wants to kill his opponent. But at this point, I feel like Ryung is starting to stabilize. A lot of Marauders, a lot of Marines, 3 Widow Mines on the ground, and still nothing but units in that production tab here from Moonglade.
Moonglade, of course, having very low economy, doesn't need to worry about hitting the injects because he doesn't have the money to use them anyway, focusing really on just producing units out of his 3 hatcheries, but now it looks like he's forced back.
See, those 3 roaches and 12 lings he just made, I think those should have been drones. But he has 10 drones in production now, so it's not the end of the world.
This creep spread is going to be very annoying. Oh, can he kill it with a single scan if he can get rid of all the creep? Oh, if he can get rid of all
one active one. Oh, all the actives are gone.
This is huge. Oh, barely not killing all the creep tumors. He's going to have to use one more scan to kill that these last 2.
Let's see where he scans.
That's going to be a little bit.
If he scans a little bit to the left, he won't get that other creep.
Does he even have the energy? He's been, of course, using heavily on the mules as far as the orbital energy goes due to the fact that he was taking so much damage early on, lost so many SCVs, he really needed those mules to keep his production going.
Okay, so...
Wait, did he get his 3rd? Oh, no, he has 3 orbitals.
Yeah, the 3rd is on the field, but I'm a little bit surprised that Ryung isn't trying to be aggressive towards that. Again, remember he made that group of links.
Oh, Moonglade's doing it again. He's coming back here.
Oh, one Marine is going to sense it, and he's going to call his buddies over there, but can he kill that Nidus in time? Moonglade getting ready to do another push onto his opponent's main base. The criminal always returns to the scene of the crime, and that's exactly what Moonglade is doing here, advancing to his opponent's main base. Widowmine's trying to get scuttled into the ground as fast as possible. No Overseers here in this composition, so Moonglade has no ability to detect those, but accumulating a lot of units here in his opponent's main.
Transfuses could be instrumental, but there's so much damage output from Ryung's units.
It's way too much. It's a good try.
He's going to escape. Ryung trying to drop counter now at the 3rd base of Moonglade.
I would drop a Nidus right outside the 3rd of Ryung.
Moonglade evacuating the 3rd base from that Widowmine. Widowmine going off on eggs. This is so many queens. That medevac has got to watch out.
Oh, the queen's trying to get right underneath. Oh, there's igniting those afterburners and getting out of there, realizing the potential danger. 2 Widowmines getting scuttled back to the ground. Drones are vulnerable. You got to run those guys away. 1 Widowmine getting taken out. 1 is still there. Taking out a couple drones, and every drone kill is huge at this point. These guys are both pretty low econ. 41-38 at the 16-minute mark of the game, when in a standard game they'd both be maxed right now. Plenty of harvesters, but again, another crazy game here in WCS America.
It's been absolutely crazy. It looks like it's going to slow down a bit. Ryung, though, has a little bit of economic advantage with those mules. He's also ahead in tech. He has Stimpack, he has Medevacs, he has Widowmine's tanks, everything at tier 1s. Moonglade pretty much just on roaches and speedlings without good upgrades either. Moonglade doesn't have a single upgrade on the field. Ryung now moving across the map. Ryung's upgrades aren't as good as he'd like to be. Of course, losing those eBays early on set him back. But this is a very scary push. Moonglade's going to need a lot of units to hold this off.
Yeah, only 1 medevac here, so it's not like Ryung could just stim and run around all day. Baneliness just now being started here from Moonglade. He's going to try to engage this army at the 3rd base, but so many Marines and Marauders here. The Roach is trying to target down the tank, it looks like. Got to look out for the friendly fire on the Widowmines, but a bunch of damage being done here from Ryung.
Some awesome micro from both sides. Roach is trying to get in close to Widowmine's friendly fire, but Ryung unburning him so that doesn't happen.
Oh, the tank is gone. Still 4 Widowmines here. Moonglade needs an Overseer in this composition. It's driving me a little bit nuts.
He's just going to move the Spore Core up?
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not being driven nuts anymore. We're good.
Now, Ryung going with a drop play towards the back of the natural. Widowmine's trying to scuttle out of there. Those will be taken out by the speedings, but they're drawing the army more towards the middle of the map. The natural has just a single Spore Core to defend. This drop could do a lot of damage.
Drop hitting, chilling at his opponent's
just hanging out.
Potential 3rd. 1 Marine getting left behind. Now going to be advancing into Moonglade's natural. There is a Spore Crawler there. There's an Overlord there as well, and Moonglade should be ready for this.
Oh, Widowmine probably won't even go off. There it goes, taken out very quickly. Ryung adding in a lot of add-ons. This is the point in the game where he's like, you know what? My infrastructure got a little bit crippled by that attack. I had to rebuild barracks, fly him around, lost add-ons. Now he's back up to 3 bases mining. He's got all the mules everywhere, and he's adding on all those reactors. So Ryung's production is about to get insane. Moonglade, on the other hand, he's reestablished his 3-base economy. He's droned up from all that damage he took from Move Him Hellions. Yeah. He's starting to catch up on upgrades. Upgrades are even now. So it's going to be a very interesting game. If Moonglade can crush an army or 2, he's going to have a very, very good position. He also has good creep spread.
Yeah, all the way to the middle of the map now. 14 Banelings in production. And I think that should be enough to deal with this push. Of course, he has to make sure to not get taken off guard by the Widowmines. That's been the story of this game so far. You got to look out for that. And I'm wondering what his next step is going to be. Because remember, at this point last game, Widowmine getting dropped there at the main, going off on a road, not the biggest of deals. But if you remember last game, I mean, he had Aspire with all this, right? He had Mutas. Right now, he's pretty much restricted to Lings, Banelings, and I guess Roaches. So it's not like he's progressing his tech that much. So I'm wondering what his next move is going to be, because he's got 20 Lings in production. He's really investing a lot into this mid-game composition.
This is a very tough spot for Moonglade. There's another drop. Actually, if he loses his 4th hatchery, that's not going to be good. Moonglade, like you mentioned, he doesn't have super tech. He doesn't have Infestors or Mutas out on the map, which makes drop play very difficult to deal with. So I think he needs his 4th base to get that extra economy.
Gonna have to cancel maybe. The Roach is trying to save its life, and Ryung just gonna pick up. He'll be back though.
Ryung moving his bulk of his force to try to push a creep back from the middle. He's gonna use a scan to clear some of that up.
Remember those Baneleys from before. Moonglade gonna try to go for it. Where are the Widow Mines here from Ryung, who's trying to scuttle into the ground, but Ryung backing away, trying to split up those lings. Oh wow, actually really good splitting there. And the Roaches, are they gonna protect this 4th? Oh, it stays alive with 29 HP, but there is 2 Marines in the main somehow. I guess, okay, there's a medevac up above. Taking down a couple drones, but again, Ryung trying to drop everywhere, but more importantly, Moonglade, for Moonglade at least. Oh no. I was gonna say good things, but he just lost that 4th.
Ryung being so persistent, recognizing the weakness and trying to take full advantage. Still 3 bases at 3 bases. Ryung has really been kind of stopping upgrades, focusing just on pushing with his 2-2 upgrade. Drilling Closet is almost complete, but the battle is happening now.
Every unit is so important. Some Lings being sent up there. Widow Mine's getting a pretty good shot. Moonglade has to look out for that. More and more Lings and Baneleys and Roaches coming forward. Moonglade needs a good engagement here, or it's going to be very, very tough for him to win this game indeed. And Ryung going to shove away. Still has plenty of Medevacs overhead and a lot of Marines and Marauders there. And again, he has that upgrade advantage. 2-2 to 1-1. +2 carapace about to finish, but Ryung doing a great job being cost efficient once again.
Moonglade was able to take out all the Widow Mines and Siege Tanks, so now it's actually just 3 more Widow Mines joining the battle, and those could be instrumental. Moonglade wants to have those speed baitings connect with the bio. This 4th hatchery is going to go down again.
A couple of drones, probably running into the biggest nightmare of their lives. One of them getting taken out, the other one seeing his friend die and deciding to retreat. And a lot of Roaches here from Moonglade, but I don't know if that's the composition you want right now, trying to clear up these Widow Mines in the middle. But have we seen any progression towards, an infestation for the mutas, anything like that?
Moonglade not confident he has the resources to really tech up, just going for the low-tech brute force army.
Some Banelings being made in the main base. Great timing there. Going to try to take down these Marines. They're just going to pick up. Might even try to drop on the Banelings as well, as there's going to be an engagement here heading toward the 3rd base of Moonglade, where Ryung splitting up these units, trying to get those Marauders to absorb the Baneling hits. Still about 4 or 5 Widow Mines on the low ground. And again, behind this, Ryung has 3 bases. 3-3 is on the way. Moonglade says, you know what, I want none of that. He's dropping a Nidus. Let's see if Ryung can identify this. Still extending into his opponent's 3rd. Moonglade desperately trying to hold that off, but also continuing to stay worried about those Widow Mine shots, absorbing some with some Roaches, but Ryung being relentless, I think Moonglade should have enough to fend off this aggression.
Moonglade doing a great job. The drop play is totally thwarted as well as the frontal attack, and now the Nidus is in here. There's not much to defend. He does take out the canal, but he's going to have to send a few more Marines to clean up this 3rd force.
Yeah, Moonglade trying to be as annoying as possible. Very heads-up play while dealing with this aggression at the 3rd, while dealing with the drop in the main. Dropping that Nidus and trying to get that counter aggression going, and he's gonna have some units here to defend this, and still holding that 3rd, doing a great job time and time again. And Ryung is not making too much progress here.
He's not making progress, but Moonglade, of course, is so focused on the defense, he's not really teching up. Now Infestation Pit is on the way. If you can get a couple Infestors out, that could change the way this game's going. Of course, he needs to hold on to this 3rd base until then.
He needs an Overseer here. Okay, there's the Overseer coming forward. Widow Mine's getting some decent shots. I feel like he can clean this up now with the units he has.
I think he does have enough Roaches. Killing the rocks to give himself a better angle going forward. There's 3 more Widow Mines. That could be so much flash. But they go on Overseer, actually. That was a good move.
Terrible. Yeah, that wasn't terrible. He's gonna shove that off, but Ryung taking a base at the top, and he has a lot of units here in the middle. But look at this. Moonglade feeling confident. Yeah, you gotta back away from that. You don't want to engage that, especially once the Widow Mines get into the ground. Moonglade has secured a 4th at the left-hand side of the map. He knows about the existence of that base at the top, has had Overlords at both locations, so there's no reason to count him out, but he's down in supply 170, 143, and 3-3 is about to finish here from Ryung.
Oh, Ryung with these upgrades is going to be so cost efficient going forward. He's trying to deny the 4th base. As Moonglade reacts to that, the main army heads into the 3rd.
A lot of Banelings finishing up here, trying to engage into those Marines and a Marauder. Not many Widow Mines in this composition. Still the majority of Ryung's army in the middle of the map here. Ryung trying to be annoying as possible once again, but Moonglade slowly but surely running out of units. Only Roaches left in this competition. Remember, he just lost a lot of Banelings there trying to deal with that push, but here comes the follow-up here from Ryung, scanning forward and seeing what's in front, but it's not looking good here for Moonglade. His 52 Lings in production. Passenging Glands is on the way, but no Infestors yet on the field, and Widow Mines might do a lot of damage here. Look out for that. Oh, a lot of friendly fire being done, and look at that. Again, Widow Mines, you've got to be so careful. They can change a game instantly, and just like that, Moonglade able to clear off that push. He needs an Overseer here. Moonglade
It's making 3.
Okay, good. I make like 6. You saw me play Zerg
Yes.
yesterday, Nick. I had like 9 overseers, partly because I was forgetting some across the map. But
Oh,
it's
the
so
Queens. Transfuse. Oh, they're getting so low. A few transfuses could fix it up. A drop's coming in, but the Queens could focus that medevac down super fast.
Yeah, this is exactly what they're going to do. Only 2 Marines getting dropped. Some Widowmine scuttling forward. And Queen's a little bit vulnerable here.
Oh, the Queens are having a hard time killing the Marines, of course. With no upgrades, the Queens do 4 damage. Each one of the little leg hits.
Oh!
Marines with 3 armor.
Careful!
Oh, nice.
Okay,
Living by
careful.
Moonglade.
Now, Moonglade has 1,000 minerals, 2,000 gas, making 40 lings. I'm a little bit I'm wondering why those weren't infestors necessarily. Because Pathogen Glands is done. Has
This is
infestation pit. First time he has the gas, right? He has the resources to make infestors.
You know what? Moonglade wants
just trying to do a...
He's going to morph a ton of Banings and kill the planetary. He knows that...
The hammer.
Yeah. And in this point of the game, Ryung is pretty much mined out of his first 3 bases. He needs that 4th. If Moonglade can kill the planetary, that's a big move.
That's a great point. Here comes Ryung, focusing the planetary with the Banelings, focusing with the Roaches as well. Takes it out. The SCV's not really wanting to repair. More Banelings are here and a lone Swarm host.
That's going to be annoying, actually, when he tries to rebuild. But the counter at Moonglade's 4th is good. That hatchery might fall as well.
Oh, no static defenses here for Moonglade. He's going to have to run those drones away, and Ryung going to be happy once again. Picking up, backing away. 3-3 started, 6 infestors. There we go. Now on the way here for Moonglade. Ryung wants revenge, sending a lot of units across the map here, scanning ahead, trying to get a feel of his opponent's unit composition. Going to try to resecure that 4th base, but he's not really mining that much, to be honest.
The Swarm host, Locust, being so annoying, canceling the SCV build in the command center. Ryung, meanwhile, is moved in orbital from his natural. He's sent up a 4th on the right side. He's going to drop the Mule Hammer once that lands. Of course, he's been waiting to clear up the creep to land that command center.
Okay, Moonglade is going to know about this too. Oh, no!
No! Dover can get back in there!
No, okay.
That would have been huge. Any delay of the Mule Hammer is huge for Moonglade.
All right, we got a double drop heading to the main base of Moonglade, but now he has those infestors on the field, and he has a lot of them.
Drop's been spotted. Moonglade, is he going to react? He's got there's also a threat of an army moving across towards his 3rd base.
Got to split up those army units efficiently. Marines, medevacs, and Widowmines here at the main base of Moonglade, dropping those down, trying to get that damage done. Moonglade doesn't quite have enough. Ryung going to back away, still in the middle map, still posturing, deciding which base does he want to attack. It looks like Moonglade is going to finally clean up this army here in the middle, but Ryung picking up, backing away. And he's going to just keep attacking from a ridiculous amount of direction.
Ryung's so good at multitasking here, attacking absolutely everywhere, but Moonglade's defense is very strong as well. Roach is here saving the 4th base. He just has to make sure he can stop the army attacking his 3rd.
Yeah, Moonglade doing a solid job splitting up those units, dealing with the main, dealing with the 3rd, dealing with his with the 4th as well. It looks like he has all the units in all the right places, but Ryung, he's maxed again. 196 out of 200. He dropped all those mules at his base on the right-hand side. He started to accumulate a lot of resources, and that's going to start getting really scary for Moonglade going forward. So Moonglade needs to make sure, secure these additional expansions, deal with this harassment relatively cost efficiently. Oh, Widowmine getting a solid shot on the Banelings and the Roaches. Ryung going to back away. Where is all of Ryung's supply? I'm a little bit confused.
He's got units in a lot of different places. He has a lot of SCVs as well. 73 workers for Ryung, 53 for Moonglade. Oh, a big fungal!
Oh, fungal nailing the Marines and Marauders, trying to back away. Still a lot of Widowmines there. If he can get a fungal on the medevacs too, that would be huge. But it looks like those medevacs are going to get away. We're the Overseers, making 3 more. Feels like a Zerg, as EVT I usually play.
Moonglade has been so hard pressed throughout this game, but now his 3-3 is done. He's got the Ultraless Infestor combination that he's so good at using. If he can hold out until he maxes, his 200 food army control is absolutely stellar.
Of course, I'm wondering what Ryung's next move is going to be. Continuing to do these drops. I feel like that's what he's going to do. Just keep dropping everywhere, keep going for the multitasking, really try to spread Moonglade out as much as possible while taking additional bases and, of course, denying your opponent's economy. But Moonglade, once again, setting up nicely at all these additional expansions. One Ultra going to deal with a few Marines there at his 3rd base. So he's going to be just fine for now. It's just, I'm pretty, Ryung is just looking really good right now. As far as like attacking every which way, securing additional expansions. He has a great bank. He has his 3-3, all his upgrades in line, a good amount of medevacs, continue to add on Marine and Marauder. And I just feel like if Ryung plays this right, it's going to be very hard for Moonglade. It's all going to come down to positioning.
Oh, the Widowmine here could get an Infestor kill. That would be big. No, it's going to go off on an Ultraless. SCV is being sacrificed as a distraction.
Oh, the hatchery getting taken out at the middle left.
And that's his only mining base.
He needed to keep that alive, and that is Moonglade's only mining base. He's going to start really struggling economically.
Oh, another drop into main as well.
Ryung just going for the war of attrition here. Moonglade needs a convincing engagement, but Ryung just not giving it to him. Drop happening in the main. 2 Ultras trying to swipe away at those Marines and Marauders. Going to get picked up and back away. Sparkcrawler trying to get that last kill. Not going to happen. Moonglade trying to make something work, but I feel as this game goes along, I feel like it's honestly going to get worse for Moonglade. But from his point of view, like, what do you really do right now?
He just got to turtle up.
Yeah.
Rebuild his economy.
And just be really cost efficient in those late game engagements.
With Zerg, once you have Infestors out against Tyrion, Infestor Ultra always has a potential to make a comeback.
Medevac getting nabbed in the middle.
He's thinking about going for the planetaries. Turning around to stop those Marines from sniping his Infestors. Ryung splitting up. Main force going to defend the planetary. Side force looking to snipe the Queens and Infestors.
Oh, Queen's a little bit vulnerable here. Ryung going straight forth. Fungals need to be good here from Moonglade. Widowmines burrowing into the ground. Plenty of Overseers in action here. Going to try to target those down. Need a Fungal onto those Marines. If he can Fungal the Medevacs, that would be huge as well. Kiting away still is Ryung.
Ryung really afraid of Fungals. He's using small
squads.
Why
does his army look so small to me? I'm sorry.
Oh, he's got to drop here to 4th, trying to deny that. He's also mobilizing many units in his, I think, his natural. So much of Ryung's supply is always in that production tab.
He might fungal the SCVs, gets the fungal on the SCVs, another fungal goes down, the planetary is going to be forfeit, and Ryung is just so scared of engaging this army, he's adding on tanks, adding on Marauders.
I don't blame him, man. That's a very scary army. This Zerg army with the transfuse and fungal control that Moonglade has.
Oh, Infestor getting targeted down. Every single Infestor kill is so important. Another Infestor getting taken out. Great target fire there from Ryung, identifying the full energy Infestors, and again, targeting them, taking them down. Only 2 Infestors remain in this composition. Now these Queens, they're going to have to be escorted because, okay, I'm just going to leave them, but it's a little bit dangerous.
He is close by. Moonglade long distance mining from the bottom. Widowmine picking off a drone here and there. Moonglade able to re-establish that left side base to continue mining. Another drop in the main takes out the spawning pool.
Gonna have to remake that, of course. Again, Ryung so relentless with this drop play. You know, I wonder if Moonglade tries to go back into the Nidus play, because he has a Nidus canal in his main base still. He can still use that. But the issue would be getting a Nidus down and being able to defend against the counterattack. So, you know, he might just look for a big engagement in the middle, and he has that cost-efficient army, so he's able to get it done, just needs more Infestors in there.
This would be a great position if Moonglade had the economy to use a lot of speedings and Nidus control to deny the 5th base of the Terran player. Right now, though, he's using every single penny he has just to rebuild that Infestor count. Needs to focus on those cost-efficient engagements. His whole army is Ultralists and Infestors. Not very mobile, but so good in the engagements.
Yeah, you can transfuse those Ultras all day long, and again, Moonglade has been keeping them alive so that they can help in the future, which is actually really important. Units lost compared to last game, it's dramatic. It's nearly identical, quite literally, at the 37-minute, 40-second mark. These guys are so evenly matched. We might have a huge engagement here. Ryung going a bit on the creep, Widowmine burrowing to the ground. It's going to get taken out for getting a shot off. Ryung starting to split up a little bit, very worried. Some tanks getting set up as well, but Moonglade might decide to go for it. Ryung is very close to that creep, but it could be a trap, because if Ryung just kites away, all of a sudden he's not on creep, and it could be a very dangerous engagement for Moonglade.
Ryung's looking to move up to the 4th base. A small squad seeing what's up there, sees some Ultralists.
Gotta look out for the Fungals. The Overseer scout ahead, trying to find out what's going on. Looking for those clump Marines, Marauders, tanks getting set up on the low ground. Very crafty play here from Ryung. Now stemming up. This is a little bit dangerous. Look out for the Fungals, but Moonglade not wanting to engage just yet, coming forward with the Ultras, with the Infestors, Marines, and Marauders just running away once those Infestors start coming forward, and the tanks doing so much damage from above. What brilliant play here from Ryung, isolating this 4th base, this only mining base of Ryung, but Moonglade, he's going to set up a flank. Can this work? Coming in from 2 locations. Moonglade has to demolish his army. A Fungal needs to go down onto the Marines, but the army on the right is not moving. Now it's coming in. Moonglade a little bit disjointed, but now he's going to go for the sandwich attack, coming in from 2 different locations. Fungal's going down onto the Bio army. Ryung cannot kite, and Moonglade is going to clean this up.
Oh, a nice army win for Moonglade, but he's not mining, and Ryung with another drop in the main base. Going to focus down some of those buildings, of course. I don't know if Moonglade even cares about rebuilding them. There's no point having production buildings if you don't have any economy. He's actually able to save that left side hatchery. That was pretty impressive. That stayed alive.
Oh, wow, yeah. He needs to get the drones back over there, though. That's good.
Does he have the drones?
I thought, yeah, he has.
Oh, yeah, he evac them.
Yeah, he's running. He has 31 drones. His opponent's 38.
The planetary at the bottom right. This is Ryung's 5th base, or yeah, 5th base. His 4th base is mining low, so this planetary dies, and Moonglade could still win this game with enough great engagements.
It's weird enough, like, every intuitive thinker out there is going to look at the supply and be like, well, Ryung is so far ahead, he wins. 164 to 115.
Oh, the infestors are vulnerable.
You need the fungals to go down, turn around the ultras and attack, but no, Moonglade's just gonna back away, getting a couple fungals down, not feeling confident enough to engage. Queen's coming forward, trying to get those transfuses down. Some more queens, some more ultras. He's waiting for the queens. He's biding time. He realizes how important they are, how important each and every unit is, but losing an ultralisk there, he can't afford to lose his units at this point in the game, but able to deny that planetary fortress. That's the good news for Moonglade.
We see Ryung re-establishing the 5th at the top. Drop play still being a little bit annoying.
Oh.
The big deal is Moonglade is down to a single infestor. He really needs to have a good amount of infestors.
He has a lot of gas.
He does. He lost 4 or 5 infestors in that last engagement, which was absolutely brutal to his composition.
And again, that was all Ryung, target firing, being very efficient with every single one of these units. That's exactly what he had to do, and he did it. Infestation Pit was killed, so he's having to remake that Infestation Pit right now. So this is a big timer here. Ryung can potentially set up another base. Like, he has that base at the top, and I don't know if there's anything Moonglade can do, because and this is a huge army too. This could be very, very dangerous indeed.
Moonglade's moving all his key tech structures to that base, knowing that's the one place he has to defend.
Gosh, he needs an infestor. Okay, he has one infestor here, and that's going to have to be a hero infestor to deal with this massive bio army. There goes a fungal, decently cost efficient. The transfuses need to be good here on the ultras. You have to keep every single ultralisk alive, but it looks like 3 ended up falling there, and this is not looking good for Moonglade. Ryung charging into his opponent's third base. Still the drop going on at the 4th, and there's the GG from Moonglade. Ryung takes game number 2, a 42-minute, 30-second ordeal that I thought might have been done in the first 10 minutes when Ryung did that ridiculous attack and Moonglade went for the Nidus counter again. That was the game that started with Blue Flame Hellions getting like 79,000 kills shattered the economy of Moonglade. It's interesting how opposite of a game it was to last game, where Moonglade was the one who did that ridiculous economic damage. This game, Ryung getting the economic damage done. It took a while, but he ended up taking it, and Ryung's up 2-0.
Now imagine if Moonglade just knew those Hellions were coming, he had the Queen's one off his natural. If he had decent economy behind that Nidus play, I mean, we saw how effective that Nidus attack was, able to do so much damage. And then Moonglade's late game, he was hanging in there, being down about 50 supply for the entire time, just relying on absolutely spectacular army control. But then the instant that he lost those infestors, Ryung knew that he had the basically numerical advantage to power through if there weren't enough fungal growths.
Ladies and gentlemen, a fantastic best of 5 we have here on our hands, and this is only the first one of the night. We still have 3 more best of 5s coming in the round of 8 alone of WCS America. It's been spectacular so far, guys. Stay tuned. Ryung is up 2-0. He's 1 win away from booking his ticket to Korea and advancing to the round of 4 of this tournament. Game 3 coming up.